Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Childcare Genius Marketing. Let Childcare Genius Marketing help you get fully enrolled and fully staffed. Visit childcaregenius.com for more details. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey.
Hi, welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast.
We're your hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey. Thank you so much for joining us today. Got a really exciting episode. This couple that we have coming on today, we just love them so much. Known them for about a year and a half, been coaching them personally. They're in our highest level of coaching program. So they're coached by Carol and I. We've been to all their schools. Love their kids, love their family, love everything about them. And they're going to talk a little bit of it today. They were our Childcare Genius Owners of the Year in Childcare Genius University this year. And they are the epitome of what our coaching program represents. They are coachable, teachable, have expanded their business, have grown their profitability significantly since we started coaching with them, and really get excited about childcare again. They got a great marriage, great relationship, been married 29 years. And you're going to just absolutely love them. And they're going to be talking a little bit today, again, about our coaching program and how amazing it's been for them. If you ever want to talk to one of our people about our coaching program, just go to childcaregenius.com and there's a coaching tab. Select on that and you can get a free coaching call. Talk to one of our coaches, learn a little bit about what we do. We could show you the same excitement that Carmen and Rigoberto have. They were not too excited when we first met them about childcare. They were actually ready to exit. And now you'd think they invented childcare because they are rocking it in South Florida and just expanded their business, 50% expansion. And they're getting ready to open another location and just can continue to grow. All from, just 2 years ago, they were ready to get out. And we've helped to do that. We can help you do the same thing. So
Let's get Rigoberto and Carmen on the line.
hey, Rigoberto and Carmen, welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. How are you both today?
Doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're awesome.
It's finally warm here without rain.
Yeah, we're like jealous of you guys like 10 months a year. Then 2 months a year, you're jealous of us because we don't have the hot. So right now, you're probably in the jealous mode of us because it's beautiful, 80 degrees and no humidity, and it's gorgeous in Maine, and they're in Florida, so we're jealous of them most of the time.
It's about 96 and it feels over 100 today with the humidity. So
Actually, you can keep that.
Yeah.
But 10 months a year, I'm jealous of you. All right, so we brought you on the podcast. We had you on before, but we just so excited to have you back. You're two of our favorite people, and we love dealing with you. We were just down at your schools, visiting all your locations about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and we wanted to have you back on. We got kind of an announcement we wanted to share with people, but before we do, for those of our audience who haven't met you guys, why don't you give a little bit about your background and what your life was like before you ventured into the wonderful childcare business?
Okay, great. So thank you for having us for a second time. Carmen and I met in college. And we were both business graduates. We both have a degree in business. Carmen was in the car business. She was a finance manager for a large car dealership in South Florida. I was on the finance side. I was a vice president of a lending institution that lended out for car loans. And we really wanted more out of what we were doing. We wanted to own our own business. That was pretty much the goal of it. We also wanted to have children. And we waited a little bit over 3 years after we were married to have children. And believe it or not, the childcare business was a business that was brought to us by my mother-in-law. She has a cousin in West Palm Beach, retired IBM exec. His wife took care of kids at home. He kicked her out, opened up a storefront for her. And a couple of years later, he cashed out of his retirement and had four massive schools in West Palm Beach, and had a great career. And we went to see that. We couldn't believe it. So that's pretty much the way we got started in the childcare business.
Did you see the vision right away, Carmen? Or are you just, you're like, who got the dream first?
I think we were both so into owning our own business. We had researched several options. We didn't know exactly what we wanted to do, but we knew we wanted to be on our own. So when we saw that, we saw the business, we saw what it entails, we saw the numbers, we need to make this work, you know? And that's, I guess, we were so aggressive into going into this.
Awesome. Well, it's a neat story. You're doing very well. We'll talk a little bit later in the podcast about your schools and what you've done and how you're growing, and you're doing fantastic. We love working with you. But we just had you came into our Childcare Genius live conference in April, and you both attended that, and you were surprised that you got awarded as the Childcare Genius University Owners of the Year for 2025. Are you guys surprised?
Absolutely surprised. We took our entire administrative staff and both of our children, which are part of the business. And when you started talking about who was going to be the owner of the year and you went through it, one of our directors said, "Oh, you guys are going to win it." And I'm like, stop. Let's see what they have to say. And I was looking at my phone because there was an email that I needed to look for. And the minute you said our names, I froze. I literally froze. And Carmen looked at me. She goes, "I'm not going up there." I said, get up. You got to walk up there." And we were sitting towards the back of the room. Yeah. I promise you, it was the longest walk of the week.
I saw your chin hit your table, Rigoberto, when I announced, because I looked right at you and your chin literally hit the table. Yes. You were like in shock. I know how Oprah feels now when she gives cars away, or The Price is Right when it calls somebody down. It was just such a priceless look. I wish I had it on video. It was well deserved and well earned. You guys were rock stars last year. You really killed it. As far as expansion and growth and the way you've come as a couple and your financial knowledge, and like in all the areas that we teach, you really were delivered in everything you did, and you're very coachable, which is great for a coach. Now you've been with our coaching program for about 18 months. So I've been working with you personally. What do you like best about like what Childcare Genius University does, and it hasn't been worth it to you?
It's been working for us 100%. Absolutely worth every penny and more, to be honest with you. It doesn't mean you need to raise prices, but no. Absolutely worth every penny. Carmen and I were with a different coaching group a couple of years ago, and we were at Crossroads. We didn't know if we were going to retire or continue, and I guess we'll talk about that later. But I think what's amazing about Childcare Genius is that the coaches are so informative. They're so knowledgeable. They're successful. They're professional. There's no fluff. There's no cliques. Everyone is together. Every time we go to a meeting, either Vegas or Jamaica, it just feels like friends. Like, you're so happy to see them and be with them. And you talk about your successes or you talk about what's going on. And that's so refreshing nowadays because as a business owner, we all know that we sometimes feel like we're on an island. And having Childcare Genius, it's so humbling to know that there's people out there that are willing to help us, especially you and Carol. You've given us that self-assurance, that self-confidence to move forward, especially when we purchased our third school. I'll never forget that. One night, and both of you really helped us out. And it really felt almost as my father-in-law was there, because he was my mentor and my hero. We lost him 12 years ago, and it just felt like you were there. You were there, and I felt like it was a no-brainer. We had to do it. And just for that, I am grateful, really am.
I also
Well,
feel
go.
the support from each of the coaches. They're all like one phone call away, one email away. Like they send, I'm gonna send you a link to my calendar so you can schedule. And it's just a matter of just clicking, and they're there in no time. And I think that is extremely important, because there's times that we get overwhelmed for maybe things that are not necessarily that we need to lose it at that moment, but we're like overwhelmed with so many things. And you, at that moment, you need to have that peace of mind that somebody heard you and they're going to come and help you out. So that's really important. That one-on-one, that support thing.
Appreciate that. It's scary opening a school. It is. And, when you're in Miami, things are very expensive. So it's big swings, it's big money. It's one wrong move and you're in trouble. So I understand your hesitancy. I'm glad I got that call late night. I remember it vividly. I was in a Spring Hill Suites. I remember exactly. Carol and I sat there and we worked the numbers with you to see if it made sense mathematically. And that's the first thing I do. And I make sure you're not going to get in trouble financially for doing it. And all the boxes checked. I said, dude, I would do this deal in a second. So that's all he needed to hear. I said, okay, if you would be willing to do it, then I know I would want to do it. So we could talk about it. Now we're going to talk about that. So, Carol.
So you had two schools for a very long time. Why did you decide to finally expand and open your third school? And do you feel like it was worth it?
So we were at a crossroads. And I mentioned that earlier. We were at a crossroads. Carmen and I were looking to exit the business, retire, and maybe get more into real estate. Sell the business, keep the real estate, and move forward. A very good friend of mine called me and asked me if I was willing to see another school. And I really wasn't at the time, but the proximity of this school, it was within 10 to 15 minutes, as both of you know, when you visit our schools. It literally fell into our laps. But the main reason I would say that we went into the third school after almost 19 years, only owning two, was my son had committed to working with us full time. He had graduated from college, so he had options. And I asked him if we bought the third school, would he take more of a part of it? And he told me, I don't know. Let me think about it. And he did. He came back to me about a week later and he asked me, is my input going to be heard, or is it only what you and mom say?
Mm.
And I said, no. I said, I welcome your input. A young mind, sharp man, a sharp young man. And I really do want a younger approach and a younger thought process in our business. And he says, well, then if that's the case, then I'm in. And now, as you know, our daughter has joined us also in the business. So now it's more of a legacy than a sale. And I think Carmen and I are more excited than ever in the business. We are into it 24/7, and we're looking for the fourth and fifth school to come up, honestly. Carmen?
Carmen, you want to input on that one?
Yes, it was a point, like Bert said, it was a point that we were not sure, like, I guess we were tired and we wanted out. But at the same time, it was a conflict, because this is all we had done in 26 years. I mean, we had invested all our life and our energy, our young years, because we're not there anymore, into this. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I look at him, I'm like, I'm done, babe. I'm done. And then but then, like Bert mentioned, I think we were with the wrong coaching group. And then he came up to me and he goes, I think I found somebody who's going to help us figure this out. I'm like, seriously, no. Like, I think we had agreed, no. And he goes like, no, come on, let's give it another shot. And then, yes, we gave it another shot. Thank God we met you guys. And it just, like Bert says, it just gave us like a new life, a new perspective, a new will to keep on doing what we had fallen in love with 26 years ago. So it is absolutely amazing. And was it worth it? Absolutely. And am I looking forward to the fourth and the fifth one, like Bert says? Absolutely.
You know, there's somebody listening right now that's like probably where you were. You know, they're stuck, you know, they're like at a crossroads. Do I sell or do I move on? And you're really motivating people, and I appreciate that. I can remember vividly, we were in Jamaica and we were out to dinner at that restaurant by the pool,
Mm.
and I could see that crossroads in your eyes. You're like, do I go all in or do am I all out? You know, you were right on that fence. And I think that conference was a pivotal moment for you. I think that's where the light clicked and you said, okay, I think I could do this. That I saw the light bulb moment that when I first met you at the conference, I saw that you were right on that fence. Like you could easily be pushed one way or the other. And I'm glad we pushed you on the other side, or our side rather, but your side. And you know what? After seeing your new Miami Lake school and how amazing that is, and Carmen, I know how hard you worked in that first year there, and I did warn you that it's going to be not easy to. When you're 20, it's a lot easier than when you're in your 40s doing it. Trust me, to
Yes.
go back in that role and start over. But you really killed it, and you did a great job. And so proud of both of you for what you've done in the last year and the whole year and a half we've worked together. So it's awesome. So of the three schools you've opened, which one's been the most challenging and why?
Our Lady of Lourdes.
Our
Right,
very,
Bert?
So
our very first
number
school.
two?
Yeah.
Oh, first
Number
school,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us why.
So I guess the main reason is, well, it was, we're talking about 26 years ago. It was a completely new business. We were green. We were
Yeah.
rookies. And to add to that, the owner that sold us a school, she held back a mortgage, which my father-in-law had arranged. And she really didn't do things the right way. She would come in early morning. She would take cash payments. She would take checks. She wouldn't report it to us. She wanted to take the business from under us. She wanted to pull the rug from under us. We had a really bad experience. Those first 3 months were horrible. And there was a teacher that had been with her for over 20 years that one day just couldn't anymore and came to us in private and said, look, this is going on in the mornings. And you guys look like amazing people, and I have to tell you. So it got so bad, we had to have a court order and we had to have a restriction on her. She couldn't be within a couple of blocks of the schools because of the school, because of what was going on.
Yeah.
Subsequently, that teacher that came and told us that became our director for the years that we needed a director in that school. She was absolutely God sent. She was amazing. She loved that school as much or more than us. But we learned so much from that school that our second school, which is Snow White, which is the largest school of them, it's 12,000 square feet, we're up 280 kids. That one wasn't difficult. That one was get in there. We knew we had to do. Carmen became the director. We brought an assistant director, and we were running. I have a quick story. April 15th of the year that we bought Snow White, I had just became a general contractor, certified general contractor for the state of Florida. It's one of the most difficult exams to take in any line. April 15th, I got that license. May 1st, we closed on Snow White. I never used my general contractor's license. And that was my dream, to become a builder.
Wow.
But it just enamored us. We loved it. Honey, anything to add?
I have to agree with you. On the first one, it was just a really, really bad experience. But it was also very challenging. We had to do a lot of changes to that school to put it even close to where we wanted it to be. The second one came out, and I was the director, and it was a lot easier. And the third one was just, honestly, it was a breeze. Yes, I was initially, I walked in and I had a lot of things to do, but I knew exactly at that point what I had to do. It was bam, 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 bam. And it was, so I imagined that the fourth and the fifth was going to be like, poof, this is vacation.
I don't think so, but
No, I'm kidding.
Very such a cool story. I mean, I just love everything about this. And you guys been doing it as long as we've been doing it. It's very rare that we meet a couple
Yeah.
that have both been, in the same boat. Our first was 96. I think you're probably a dread right around late 90s, right? Is when you started. So we're very, very close. So neat.
What is your secret to working successfully with your spouse every day?
I'll start, and then this could take a while. No, I'm only kidding.
We got all day.
All he has
No.
to say is she's a joy to work with.
Yes.
Marriage is, as we all know, marriage is a lifelong journey. And you need to work on your marriage, I would say, every single day, right?
Amen.
So, and marriage is not easy. There's a lot of you think different ways. It's full time, it's for life, right? We were married under the Catholic Church. But then imagine being married and trying to have a prosperous marriage, and then also now working together. So now your wife isn't now just your wife. Now she's also your business partner.
Yeah.
I take great pride in telling you that coming into our 29th year of marriage, I've never been happier. It's been the best 29 years of my life. And being successful in the business that we're in requires three things for us. Trust. We need to trust each other's decision making. 2, respect. We need to work professionally and respect each other in what it is that we're doing. And 3, one of the more important ones, I believe, would be learn to stay in your lane. We kind of set this up many years ago, and she runs the front and I run the back end of the business. And everything that falls in between, it's all about communication. Which way do we want to go? Which way do we want to set it up? Who do we want to put to lead that project? We need to stay balanced in working together. And I believe working professionally together also helps. It isn't the lovey, honey, no, let's work together professionally as partners. And I think that's what's grown us, not only in the business, but I also believe in our relationship. Honey?
Yeah, I have to agree. I think the most important thing especially in a marriage is trust, respect, and communication. And I believe we apply all those things in our business as well, in working together. We've always, like Rigoberto says, from the very beginning, we defined our role. Like, I knew what I was in charge of. He knows what he's in charge of. But there's roads that cross because it happens. And if it's an example, we need to make an immediate decision, I trust that he's going to make the right one, or he trusts I'll make the right one. And at that moment, because it needs to be like an immediate thing. And we discuss it later. But the most important thing I will have to say is we communicate a lot. There's a lot of communication, and we respect each other, and that is a big thing for us.
Yeah, you guys started working together from the beginning. I came in a little after Carol had already run it for a couple years. But most of the problems I see with couples working together is when one spouse leaves a job or retires from a job and then tries to come in and work with a spouse who's done it successfully for many years. And then you got the person who left their job, missing their way of life. Then they kind of butt themselves into the child care center. thinking they're equal partners, and technically they are, but you have to earn that. So there's a really tough transition period. I've worked with many couples in there. It can be done. It just know that there's going to be more friction than not when you try to assimilate into a business that somebody else has done successfully without your involvement for many, many years. But it can be done. We've coached many people through it. You just got to be patient, bite your tongue a little bit, probably, right?
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, we did. And there was
We did it
friction.
twice.
We did it twice. We passed the torch. I ran the company for a couple of years. Well, she took care of the kids and stayed at home, and then gave it back to her. And we have the cadence where we each have our own lanes. We work well together,
Yeah.
but it wasn't always pretty, and it wasn't always copacetic, and probably didn't like each other a couple times during the time. But we figured it out. And now, Rigoberto, I love what you said. You know, you're happiest you've been, and I'm the same way. You know, I love Carol much more today than I did 10 years ago. She's much nicer now. No, just kidding. We love each other, but it is work, and we go to marriage courses, and we go to conferences, and we work on it. We read marriage books continually.
A lot of people work on their business, but they don't work on their relationship.
Right. We work on relationship, and if you work on a relationship and that's going good, the business will fall in place.
Yeah.
But if you don't work on, if your relationship is a mess, more than likely your business is going to end up being a mess too, because everything stems from that. So anyway, you're one of the couples we're probably most in line with. We've done it the same. We have a lot of similarities. We love your kids. Very similarly, our kids work for us. Your kids work for you. We have a lot of parallels, except you have better weather, and we're a little jealous of that. Other than that,
actually, we thought where to move in Florida, and we said we can't go to Miami because we don't know Spanish.
We don't know Spanish, so we wouldn't be able to go to Walmart and order food. We found that problem. We wouldn't be able to go to a deli. That's okay. And it's too darn hot down there. But we might eventually be winter neighbors. What do they call them?
Snowbirds.
Snowbirds. Yeah, we might end up
Snowbirds.
being
Oh boy.
live there in the winter. Your population probably decreases quite a bit in May, right? When all the northerners go home.
Yes, for sure. August is the worst month.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your lives to spend a little time with our audience. I hope those listening at home got a little bit out of this and realized that, even if you're kind of stagnant now or on the fence or don't know which way to go, if you did decide to go all in, there is help and support system out there, and you can go from stale to happy again. You can be stagnant and go through a season of that and then come out of it and be more excited than ever in the childcare business. We've done it, you've done it, and now the best is yet to come. Now you're going to excel because you have all this experience, and now working with your children. Seeing the turnover is awesome, and seeing your kids excited about the business. And you got two really sharp children that are going to be amazing leaders to take that torch, and they'll probably do far better than you did. And that's your goal. You want them to take it and go even better and stronger, and because you've laid the amazing foundation for them to really build an incredible business. And you should be very proud. Like we are of you, you should be proud to them. And I know you are.
We are. Thank you.
We are, yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We will see you in Riviera Maya, Mexico. If you want to meet Rigoberto and Carmen, come down to Mexico with us in the fall. And maybe we'll sneak we'll drag Carmen up and get her to say a few words from the audience.
Maybe they'll let you pose with you for a picture. You can get your picture taken with them.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing. Yeah, for sure. And maybe if you're on the fence, Carmen or Rigoberto will help push you off the fence.
Yes.
Yes, we'll do that.
Literally, one way or another.
Yeah,
One way or another, we can help.
I want to finish off real quick, Brian and Carol, by saying the reason why we were so shocked when we won Owners of the Year is because there's so many amazing owners that are part of Childcare Genius, and that have been through probably all struggles that you can go through in a business of the childcare business. And that's the beauty of Childcare Genius. There's so many different groups and families and husbands and wives that can really listen to you and say, we've been through that, and kind of hold your hand and get through it. So again, thank you, thank you, and thank you.
Well earned, well deserved. Appreciate that. And I guess you're right. A lot of people are very deserving and could have gotten this. But I think of all the people, and again, many were very close, but it's the one person that says, "Put me in, coach. What do I need to do next?" And is the most coachable person, one of the most coachable people I've met is you guys, because you're willing to soak it up with a sponge, and you're very humble. Humbleness is a very important thing, as I when I'm learning. But you do more listening than talking. That's a smart, very smart, and you're a very good listener. So that means you're willing to hear. And those are the smartest childcare owners. And that's, you want to know why you won, because you're coachable, teachable, you listen, and you're a doer. And you're most aligned with the Childcare Genius core values and approaches. But again, I probably could have picked 10 people. But you were just a little bit of cut above everybody, and we thank you for that. And you definitely espouse what we stand for. So if you want to know what Childcare Genius is all about, this is right here. This is it. A lot of couples working together and enjoying their business, having fun. And when the time comes when you're ready to exit, we're going to be there too to help you with that transition. Because that'll come too. There's going to be a time when you're going to want to just go lay on the beach and not even think about childcare.
Yes.
And we're going to be right there, but next on the beach with you.
Great.
There's going to be a day where we're going to be in the same boat. So I hear you. We all have an end date, literally and figuratively.
Right.
Correct.
So we're going to enjoy it. Anyway, thanks, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you in Mexico. Thanks again for coming on the Childcare Genius podcast today.
Thank you for having us.
Man, what a nice interview with them.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, they're just so they're like genuine.
Yeah.
When we visited their schools, they took us to an amazing Cuban cafe, and we had the most amazing meal. It was so good.
It was good.
And every time we go to do a site visit, and we have visited over 120 schools in the last 3 years. We've zigzagged this country many times, visiting schools for our clients. It's something we do at our expense, visiting schools of our high-end clients. And we always ask them to bring us to something authentic that we could not eat in Bangor, Maine. And that's for sure something we couldn't eat in Bangor.
Something authentic to the area.
Yeah. So he got us excited. I don't drink caffeine, but I had some Cuban coffee, and I was bouncing off the walls.
It's the strongest coffee.
Like when we went to Chicago, I drank Turkish coffee, and I was bouncing off the walls. And it's just one of those things where we try to get an authentic experience no matter where we are. So if you want to invite us to your school, we would love to come out and visit you if you're part of our program. You get a site visit from us, and you can show us a little bit of authenticness from wherever you are at. So this concludes this episode of the Childcare Genius podcast. Thank you so much for inviting us into your life and sharing a little bit about Childcare Genius with you.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Childcare Genius podcast. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.